who will come and share their journey, give some advices, insights, how they've walked through, which indeed will, I guess, and is also like helping to the listeners who are listening to this podcast. So this is kind of the brainchild behind this. So yeah, sounds satisfying.
That's really a great initiative, man. Like, literally love you for that. Because independent music में क्या है कि there are, जैसे usually commercial music में भी होता है, right? So एक fixed group of people है who are ruling the charts. Similarly, when independent music came to India, when people started doing that again in lockdown, right? तो लोगों ने थोड़ा एक step आगे बढ़ा. But again, now if I see the scenario, the same is being followed in case of independent music industry as well. There are some artists और उनकी monopoly चल रही है, right?
बस हाँ, उसके सब.
So what makes me sad कि मैं ऐसे artists explore करता हूँ on Spotify and every other platform, right? इतने खूबसूरत गाने बनाते हैं, मतलब उनकी songwriting, उनके composition, उनका production, उनकी singing, everything is like top notch. But again, no discoverability. क्योंकि वो कहीं playlist नहीं हो रहे. They are not backed up by labels. They are not backed up by big, what do we say, artist management companies, right?
शिद्दत मेरा किस्सा नया बन जाएगा, हो जाना महफूज कर कुर्बत पना लम्हा थम जाएगा.
Hello to all the good people over the internet. Today we have with us the singer-songwriter and the producer Ishaan Nigam with us. Thank you so much, Ishaan, for joining for this podcast.
Hi everyone. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So as we all know, as the listeners of this podcast know, that there's no script, there's no goddamn anything, but we don't know what's going to happen, but something interesting is going to happen. This is my old dialogue in every goddamn podcast. So here's the first question. How did your journey start as a child? Were you always involved in music? Your family, anyone in the family was a musician? Your background was music? You worshipped music? What was it?
So journey started as a kid, but nobody in my family is a musician. I'm the very first musician in my family, but everyone is a great listener in my family.
Wow.
I have touchwood grown up listening to lots of semi-classical music and good old Bollywood music, Bollywood classics by Rafi Saab, Lata Ji, Manna Dey Saab. Because I come from a place called Bahraich. It's near Lucknow. So most of the people even don't know about that place, that it exists on a globe, right? So yeah, so it's a very small district, and at that point of time we were not having any access to cables or anything. So at that point of time only Doordarshan used to come and
Doordarshan,
yeah, और बाकी और कोई भी जो रेडियो स्टेशंस होते थे ना उस टाइम पे वो भी नहीं आते थे. Only 100.7 Akashwani.
Akashwani 100.7.
So that's how I've grown up listening to those very pure airplays, I would say. Those were really unbiased airplays उस टाइम पर, क्योंकि उस टाइम पे कोई बिजनेस नहीं चल रहा था रेडियोज में, राइट? सो वो पूरा अनकरप्टेड म्यूजिक वो देते थे आपको.
I love this word, uncorrupted music.
Yeah. So उस टाइम पे I've been blessed कि मैं वो सारा म्यूजिक सुन के बड़ा हुआ हूँ. That's how I started imitating so many artists, so many legends. उनको सुन के उनकी तरह गाने की, उनकी तरह नहीं गा सकते, but just try to imitate कि ये कैसे कर रहे हैं. मतलब what made me curious at that point of time कि अच्छा ये सीधा तो गाना है, आसान है वो, but how Rafi साहब is doing this, how he's taking that हरकत, या ये मुर्की कैसे ले रहे हैं. So at that point of time even I was not aware about these terms कि मुर्की क्या होता है, खट्टा क्या होता है, मींड क्या होता है. So these things I learned later on when I started learning Indian classical music, but as a kid I was not aware कि कैसे कर रहे हैं. But I used to practice those by imitating those, साथ गा रहे हैं और try कर रहे हैं कि अच्छा ये ठीक निकल जाए थोड़ा. So that's how it started. And then when I was in standard 6th, so I took a part, like I participated in a singing competition. So first time मेरे स्कूल में कोई competition हुआ था, and like I was super happy कि चलो गाना मैं ऐसे गुनगुनाता हूँ, बट नो बडी केयर्ड अबाउट कि हाँ मैं गाना गाता
हम्म,
हूँ, ऐसे गुनगुनाता हूँ, मतलब बच्चों का क्या है कि मतलब वो गुनगुनाते रहते हैं,
हाँ हाँ
ऐसा
हाँ।
है। सो ठीक है, आई पार्टिसिपेटेड एंड somehow I came second. देन
Oh.
पीपल स्टार्टेड मेरे घर पे भी कि अच्छा तुम सुनाओ कुछ। तो सबने बोला कि हाँ ये अच्छा गाता है, इसके अंदर सुर ताल है, समझ है इसको। देन ऑनवर्ड्स लाइक आई थिंक 10th में फेयरवेल हुआ, तो वेयर इन वी प्रिपेयर्ड अ सेट सेट फॉर आवर जूनियर्स। 9th में जब हुआ तो वी प्रिपेयर्ड द फेयरवेल सेट फॉर आवर सीनियर्स। ऐसे ऐसे हुआ। देन स्लोली 11 12th में व्हेन आई चेंज्ड माय स्कूल, उस टाइम पे थोड़ा सा पॉज हो गया था म्यूजिक, बिकॉज अगेन यू नो 11 12th is a very crucial stage of life.
And Indian
तो
households are
उधर
famous for.
एब्सोल्युटली। तो और ऊपर से स्कूल चेंज हुआ, सो यू नो कॉन्वेंट स्कूल से एक नॉन कॉन्वेंट स्कूल में जाना वाज अ बिग लीप। I was not able to settle myself
Cope up.
in the kind of environment I was in at that point of time. तो उस टाइम पे बस यही रहता था कि ठीक है स्कूल जाओ, पढ़ो, होमवर्क करो, तैयारी करो बोर्ड्स की, एंड दैट्स इट, यू डन। And then slowly in 2011, when I was doing my 12th, right, and I gave my boards, 12th boards, and uske baad I have a friend. So we both come from a place called Berich, and he was at that point of time he started learning guitar professionally. So he was a very first professional musician. Abhi he stays in Mumbai as well. So uh, he suggested कि ठीक है, you sing good, let's record a song and let's put it on internet. तो उस टाइम पे I was very new कि यार क्या है इंटरनेट, क्या है। तो उस टाइम पे we used to go to cyber cafes के, और
तो 10 रुपए
उधर
का 1 घंटा।
10 रुपए का 1 घंटा। तो अभी यही होता था कि आई हैड दैट निकॉन कूल पिक्स वाला कैमरा,
हाँ हाँ हाँ
और क्योंकि स्मार्टफोन या फोन्स भी नहीं होते थे, मतलब हम लोगों को तो 12th तक फोन मिला ही नहीं।
हाँ 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 हाँ।
So I got my first phone when I was in 11th, sorry, in the first year of my college, and that too because I was staying in some other city in a hostel. तो मेरे घर
कनेक्शन के
वालों ने
लिए
they gave me that वो
नोकिया
जो
3310।
नोकिया, हाँ 1108 मिला था मुझे।
ओ अच्छा, तो
So
अमीर हो
yes,
आप।
feature phone, it's called feature phone. तो मैंने मतलब I still remember I covered जरा सी दिल में दे जगह and हाले दिल. So these two songs I did at that point of time and ऐसे upload कर दिया YouTube पे. That's how I started my journey as a YouTuber as well in 2011. तो तब से लेकर आज तक I'm continuing that journey and hopefully जब तक है जहाँ तब तक वो continue रहेगी.
हाँ हाँ हाँ, absolutely.
So that's how it began, and then when I went to college, तो उधर जाकर I got a proper access to instruments और एक proper bands क्या होते हैं ये सब देखने का मौका मिला मुझे
So
कि
your
क्या
college
है,
was
अच्छा
also in
ऐसे
Mumbai.
ऐसे होते हैं। No, no. So I did my graduation in BTech in computer science, and that I did from Invertis University, Bareilly.
Bareilly, हाँ.
Yeah. So there I got an access to multiple instruments, music room. So फिर मैंने मन में बना लिया था कि
अब तो
यार this
ड्रॉप
is
आउट करना
a
है।
life. नहीं, drop out नहीं किया मैं. I'm not a dropout man. I've completed my graduation. I still do job. So अभी क्या हुआ कि मेरे दिमाग में ये था कि ठीक है सीखना था मुझे बचपन से, बट आई नेवर गॉट एन एक्सेस टू लर्न म्यूजिक। तो मेरा ये था कि ठीक है लेट्स डेडिकेट माय हॉस्टल डेज टू दिस प्लेस, दिस ब्यूटीफुल म्यूजिक रूम। सो बारिश हो, गर्मी हो, एग्जाम हो, एनीथिंग, आई यूज्ड टू
लड़ाई
गो
हो,
टू म्यूजिक रूम। लाइक 4 साल में रेगुलरली गया हूँ, ऐसा था।
डेडिकेशन।
तो डेडिकेशन बोल सकते हो, पागलपन आप बोल सकते हो, मेरा म्यूजिक के लिए था। सीखने का वो था कि नहीं सीखना है कैसे भी, जितना मिल रहा है उतना सीख लो। बिकॉज as hostlers we were not allowed to step out of college without you know warden's permission। और वो वार्डन की परमिशन भी तब मिलती थी जब पेरेंट्स फैक्स करते थे। सो उस टाइम पे फोन से भी काम नहीं चलता था, पेरेंट हैव टू गो फैक्स करना पड़ता था। तो अभी वही था कि अपने पेरेंट्स को क्यों परेशान करें, जितना स्कूल में मिल रहा है उतना जस्ट लर्न। तो उधर मुझे जाकर मेरे पहले म्यूजिक टीचर मिले हु टॉट मी वेरी बेसिक्स ऑफ म्यूजिक की क्या होते हैं, नोट्स क्या होते हैं, गिटार में क्या क्या नोट्स होते हैं, स्ट्रिंग्स क्या होती हैं, कीबोर्ड में क्या स्ट्रिंग्स होते हैं, ऑल सॉरी कीबोर्ड में क्या नोट्स प्ले होते हैं, ऑक्टेव क्या होता है, वो सब बेसिक्स सीखना स्टार्ट किया। फिर
मेजर माइनर स्केल्स एंड ऑल।
हाँ वो सब बिल्कुल बेसिक्स से स्टार्ट किया। देन अभी मुझे हारमोनियम का भी क्योंकि एक्सेस मिल गया था, एंड आई हैव ऑलवेज एस्पायर्ड टू डू प्लेबैक सिंगिंग. तो मैंने बोला कि सर आई वांट टू लर्न दिस एंड आई वांट टू प्रैक्टिस मोर, हाउ आई कैन डू दैट. तो उन्होंने बोला कि मुझे, बिकॉज ही वाज अ वेस्टर्न क्लासिकल टीचर, ही वाज नॉट एन इंडियन क्लासिकल टीचर. तो उन्होंने बोला कि जितना मुझे थोड़ा बहुत पता है अबाउट इंडियन क्लासिकल, just take this note from me and start doing the basic practice. So 3 साल मुझे याद है, from second year onwards, second year till fourth year, मैं रोज जाता था हारमोनियम पे. 1 घंटा मैंने शेड्यूल बनाया था कि I'll do basic practice. उसके बाद जो 1 घंटा बचता था उसमें I'll do jamming with my friends जो वहाँ बैठे होते थे. और बैंड मैंने फॉर्म करने का बहुत बार ट्राई किया, बट मेरे को बैंड से निकाल दिया जाता था. बिकॉज आई वॉज वेरी इंक्लाइंड टूवर्ड्स जो सेमी क्लासिकल गाने होते हैं. बिकॉज अगेन आई हैव ग्रोन अप लिसनिंग टू दोज सॉन्ग्स आर माय सोल, राइट. रफी साहब हो गए, किशोर कुमार साहब हो गए, एंड बैंड्स एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम यूज्ड टू सिंग अब तो आदत सी है मुझको, वो लम्हे वो बातें. अगेन दोज आर वेरी ब्यूटीफुल सॉन्ग्स एंड आई लव टू सिंग देम. बट अभी दे वर लिमिटेड सॉन्ग्स जो बैंड वाले स्कोप में थे, राइट. अभी इफ आई वांटेड टू डू सूना सूना एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम, सो नोबडी वाज अलाउइंग मी टू डू दैट, है ना. तो वही था, बट स्टिल journey grew on and I started learning. Then finally in my fourth year I got my very first guruji, Raaste ji, from whom I started learning Indian classical basics. उनसे भी ज्यादा सीखने का मौका नहीं मिला, मतलब I guess 5-6 क्लासेस उनसे लेने का मुझे मौका मिला. And then I got a scholarship for KM Music Conservatory for a summer course. So I went to KM for a month and then did the summer course, gathered so much of Indian classical material from there, and then made really good friends. जो अभी आज भी वो friends हैं मेरे. So I'm really blessed कि KM जाने का मुझे मौका मिला, and I met these genius minds who are really doing amazing work in industry right now. So that's how journey began, and then it's still going on. And then in 2019 I started putting out my originals. क्योंकि कवर्स कर करके लाइक आई आल्सो गॉट सैचुरेटेड कि अभी कर क्या रहा हूँ मैं, लाइक सो इन 2019 I thought of releasing my original. Yeah. Then since then I've released 10 covers so far, 10 singles so far, and there's a song which is coming on 9th December as well. So that song is a sequel of one of my songs which we released in February 2020, and that song has been written and composed by a very dear friend. His name is Bright Roy. So we mostly work as a duo, and he's a brilliant lyricist, brilliant composer. So that song is a sequel, and there's a story. There's a music video which has a beautiful story, which we have dedicated to especially abled children. So we have shot that song in National School of Blind, which is NAB, National Association of Blind. It is in Delhi, and so I am very hopeful that song will reach to masses, and the message which we want to give through the video will reach people. So yeah, that's how journey is going on.
Fantastic. So you have been on YouTube for like 8-10 years right now.
10 years, 11 years now. Yeah.
11 years, 10 singles. Damn it. You started learning. How many instruments did you start learning when we were pursuing music?
So honestly speaking, I have never learned any instrument professionally. I've learned vocals. I'm still learning, but I've done masters in Indian classical music.
Yeah.
In vocals. But I do play guitars. I do play harmonium, and then I do play keyboard as well. I do basics of music production as well. Like I've started during lockdown, I started exploring that side of mine, that I always wanted to do music production as well, because I believe that it helps you, evolve as a musician.
Yeah.
It brings out your musicianship when you learn production. When you, as a singer also, like if you want to produce, right, you get an approach that how to approach a particular song. If this is a kind of sound you will be given, right? How you will approach this particular song with this sound. So that's
get a scratch
exploring.
idea.
Yeah, I'm still exploring, and I'm loving that side.
Pretty interesting. That's an interesting journey, I should say.
Yeah.
When did you think of making music as a career? Like, you sat down, thought of a paper, written down कि मेरे को ये करना है, I can do this and can pay my bills.
So while I was in college, third year or fourth year, I decided that I want to do music. This is
Wow.
what I want to do. I don't want to end up doing anything else. But because I come from a very middle class family, and middle class families का थोड़ा एक वो रहता है अपने कि at least get a secure job with which you can feed yourself and then do whatever you want to do. So I started doing job. I'm still doing job. I try to balance both the things as of now. But in future, I have plans to do full-time music.
Absolutely. So you sat down and thought of it that okay, this can work. I can produce music. I can
I
do playback stuff.
I sit up every day and I give a thought every single day that how
can I
how can I approach towards my goal in a much better way and more rapidly.
And what do you think? All artists and musicians are to be a bit broad. All creative people should do this analysis.
I think यार हम लोग आर्टिस्ट लोग का ना बहुत अलग ही सीन रहता है. I believe. मतलब हम लोगों का mindset जो है that is way different from what normal people think.
Yeah.
Right. We think about so many things at a go. Like there are infinite thoughts which are going
ये भी करना है, ये भी करना है, ये भी करना है,
ये भी करना है. फिर एक ना सेल्फ डाउट्स रहते हैं.
कर पाऊंगा.
हाँ, सेल्फ डाउट्स रहते हैं बहुत सारे. फिर क्या होता है कि खुद से लड़ाई भी रहती है कि why I'm not able to do this.
हाँ.
और जिस दिन ये पॉजिटिवली लेने लगे ना कि why I'm not able to do this, how another person is doing this but I'm not able to do this. So that I think will change your perspective for life. क्योंकि again अगला बंदा भी अगर कर रहा है तो he has learned that, spent good time on that skill, right? Learning that skill.
Yeah.
So why can't we spend that time and learn and then we grow?
I agree.
So I think that is very important कि वो self analysis होना चाहिए. सीखने का जो एक वो रहता है ना कीड़ा वो होना चाहिए. म्यूजिक सीखने का अगर आपने ये सोच लिया ना कि यार अब तो हो गया, अब सीख लिया, अभी तो गाना बजाना करते हैं, then the day you think about this you are finished.
Yeah, I agree. And to be honest, we all hit plateaus like this as musicians कि हाँ पता चल गया अब क्या करना, तो सिर्फ डेली 20 मिनट प्रैक्टिस करेंगे तो हो जाएगा. ना.
Yes.
That's kind of the starting again. You have to know all the other stuff as well if you want to, of course.
So what I believe now कि every day, every single day, show both side of yours, a professional side and a student side.
Yeah.
Professional side is for the outer world, because again you'll have to step out, do your work, right? But when it comes to learn music, when it comes to learning a new skill, acquiring new skills, you'll have to act as a student.
I agree.
Unless you are not doing that, if you're taking that ego कि अच्छा ये तो मुझे आता है तो मैं कर लूंगा, you are gone. कोई आपको पीछे निकाल लेगा, right? कोई आपसे आगे निकल जाएगा. मतलब तो consistently you'll have to upgrade yourself every single day. तो मेरे गुरुजी बोलते हैं कि अगर एक टाइम का रियाज अगर छूटता है ना तो आप एक हफ्ते पीछे चले जाते हो.
Yeah.
And this is personally what I have felt. Like even if I'm traveling, so I have such a routine that if I skip, or I usually don't like to skip, but there are circumstances कि मुझे मिस करना पड़ जाता है बहुत बार कि I'm traveling या फिर किसी से मीटिंग है, anything, तो वो उस टाइम का रियाज मिस हो जाता है. तो that guilt remains there. यार आज तो मिस हो गया. So there is a very beautiful statement by पंडित अजय चक्रवर्ती जी कि जो आपका रियाज है ना वो आपके खाने की तरह होना चाहिए. जैसे आप खाना नहीं भूलते हो ना, वैसे आपको रियाज करना नहीं भूलना चाहिए. आप अगर खाना भूल जाते हो किसी दिन तो आपको वो एक भूख रहती है ना,
अनकंफर्टेबल हो जाता है
या उस दिन, तो सेम गोज विद रियाज कि अगर आपने रियाज छोड़ दिया उस दिन का, एक उस समय का भी, तो वो एक भूख रहनी चाहिए.
I agree. I agree. And that's a beautiful
So yeah,
line to remember all, for all
absolutely.
musicians.
For every musician, this should be the life month.
I agree. So all of your 9 singles or 10 singles you have released from since 2019, all are produced by yourself.
No, I have not produced any single of them. So
Mhm.
all have been produced by various music producers.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't want to try my hands on doing my own singles right now because I think I'm not ready enough to do that.
Agree.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting question for you. When was the first success as a musician you got, and what was it? How did you feel?
Me?
Mhm. Your first single got more than 500 views. Like I remember, when I put out a single, it got more than 100 views. I was like, oh, I'm a celebrity now.
So honestly speaking, views, streams don't move me. Like I think this is just a number game, and numbers is just a data which can be manipulated, right?
Yeah.
So I don't get bothered about that. But when it comes to life achievement, when I got selected as top 20 musicians from India for KM scholarship, I was super happy because
So you got a
coming from
100%
a
scholarship.
background, yeah.
Wow.
So coming from a background where there was no music, no music in family, and then cracking that audition, cracking that scholarship thing was a very big deal for me. And honestly, there's a fun fact. I was so lame until my college final year that I didn't even know what KM is. I didn't even bother to Google that whatever institute I have, cracked the scholarship for. Let me Google and read about it. That who is the founder and what all curriculum is there. So when I went to Chennai, I was just exploring the campus and suddenly I found founder Dr. A.R. Rahman and I was like blown up. That oh my god, this is Rahman's college. So I was not aware that this is Rahman's college and I have been chosen for this place.
So what was the feeling?
I can't explain that feeling in words. I still get goosebumps when I that particular clip is there in my mind. While I was exploring the campus and suddenly a door comes and I was reading the name Dr. A.R. Rahman, founder. So that still is there in my mind.
Interesting. What are your thoughts on the music industry of India?
I
How do you
believe there
see
is no
it?
music industry. There is no music industry in India because again, honestly, like now it is the scene that music industry is taking a birth. It's at its initial stage right now.
Like how
Like
is that so?
unlike West, right? So West has a separate music industry, separate film industry, right? But when it comes to India, music has always got a recognition through films,
Bollywood.
right? So every singer, every composer, every lyricist who got popularized was through film medium, right? लोग फिल्म देखते थे, फिर उनको गाना सुनते थे उसी मीडियम से, फिर उनको पसंद आता था कोई गाना, फिर they started
So film was the
searching
connector
about
between
कि
a
अच्छा ये
musician
सुनो.
and the music.
Yes. So आप उसको अच्छी बात भी बोल सकते हो, आप उसको एक कमी भी बोल सकते हो कि हाँ ये पहले म्यूजिक इंडस्ट्री नहीं थी. पहले हमेशा से वो बॉलीवुड सेंट्रिक इंडस्ट्री थी.
Yeah.
Right. But right now, if you see, lots of independent musicians are coming up, and I'm so glad that their songs are getting singed in so many web series, some films as well, right? So, abhi I think music industry is coming into picture right now.
Okay.
India
Especially the
में. पहले
independent
तो
scene.
नहीं. हाँ, because again, music industry is something which gives you liberty to do things, right? You can experiment like anything, right? Because film का music क्या है? Film का music is again one of my favorite genre, right? Because I have grown up listening to that.
Yeah.
But somewhere it uh, restricts you as per the situation of the film, as per the character of the film.
कैसा गाना
Right.
जाएगा, how the
कैसा
producer
गाना
wants
जाएगा,
it.
कैसे situation पे जाएगा. There are so many restrictions that you can't use this instrument, you can't use this chord combination, right? So there are so many factors involved when it comes to film music.
Yeah.
Right. Because again, that is not niche music, right? It's that part of music has been done for masses. और हर मास मतलब हर कोई इंसान अगर वो म्यूजिक सुनेगा तो दे वोंट बी एबल टू एब्जॉर्ब दैट म्यूजिक, राइट? अगर इतना एक्सपेरिमेंटेशन होगा. So keeping in mind, I think again that is one of my go-to genre. I've grown up listening to that. और बहुत ही खूबसूरत genre है अपने आप में फिल्म म्यूजिक, राइट? बट आई एम ग्लैड कि हाँ इंडिपेंडेंट म्यूजिक भी बाहर आ रहा है, लोग करना स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि एक लिबर्टी है उधर कि आप अपने हिसाब से चीजों को ढाल सकते हो, कोई रोक टोक नहीं है.
Wow, yeah, I like that. How can a musician and an artist learn two sides of the music game? One is the music that they're creating, and number two is reaching the audience, the niche audience, the target audience, and making some capital out of it, because you have to pay your like Wi-Fi bill at the beginning of the month. So, what are your thoughts on this? Where can they learn? Like, will they have to go to an institute? They can learn on internet.
So honestly speaking, ये ना इंडिविजुअल पे डिपेंड करता है कि किसको कितनी भूख है सीखने की. I've seen people who have been to big institutions and they have come out of nothing. And I've seen people जो कभी कहीं नहीं गए and they are producing kick-ass music.
Yeah.
Or doing kick-ass music, right? Same goes for music business as well, like reaching out to audience. जैसे I'm still learning that, I'm very new to that scene, right? कि अपना एक fan base बनाओ. How can you do that? Because again, we as individual artists don't have that amount of money, right? कि हम marketing पर, PR पर इतना पैसा invest कर सकें, right? So we have to do everything on our own in a very organic way.
Yeah.
Right. We have to reach out to every person. उनको एक personalized message लिखना पड़ता है. Right. And I personally love to interact with people in person कि यार एक वो ना, क्योंकि एक पर्सनल कनेक्ट होना ना हर इंसान से बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है.
Yeah.
Which most of the independent artists miss अभी, क्योंकि they are usually क्या है कि भाई मार्केटिंग में पैसा लगा दो. The guys who are backed up by labels, वो मार्केटिंग में ठीक है, that is one way out, right? But as a fan, I think हर एक fan जिस आर्टिस्ट को भी प्यार करता है उसकी पर्सनैलिटी जानना चाहता है, right? So if I take an example of XYZ artist, I would love to know his journey, right? I would like to know what kind of music he listens to or she listens to. I would like to know what kind of practice they do, right, to improve, right? And what they love, what they don't like as an artist or as a human. So unless that human connect is not there, I believe सिर्फ म्यूजिक मतलब मेरा भी पहले यही था. when I was uploading content, uploading music on Instagram and YouTube, I never showed people that in person what I love. Like I love to travel a lot. I love mountains. I love listening to very soul music, and I love clicking photographs. मुझे नेचर का फोटोग्राफ लेना बहुत अच्छा लगता है, right? But I never put out that content on YouTube or any social media. Because मुझे लगता था कि ठीक है, this is personal side of me, let's keep it with me. क्यों अभी दुनिया को क्यों दिखाना है सब कुछ. But later on I realized that वो एक ना कनेक्ट बनाने के लिए it's very important. Because whenever I write songs, I usually write about dreams, life, hope, and where it is coming from. Like people would like to know, right? कि
Yeah.
ऐसा ये लड़का, ये आर्टिस्ट जर्नी के बारे में लिखता है, ये आर्टिस्ट ड्रीम्स के बारे में लिखता है, बट इंस्पिरेशन कहाँ से आ रही है, राइट? सो दैट्स वेयर आई थॉट कि यार ये चीजें शेयर करना ऑडियंस से इम्पोर्टेंट है एक लिमिट तक.
Yeah.
So yeah, then coming to the business perspective, यार I'm still learning that. I have to reach out to every journalist in person, and जब भी मेरा कोई रिलीज आने वाला होता है तो उसके एक महीने पहले I start writing to journalists in person. So there is no hard template which I follow. I write to every journalist in person कि अच्छा मैंने आपका ये आर्टिकल पढ़ा था and मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा. I would be glad if you would find some time and listen to my music and consider giving your reviews, right? तो वही है, लाइक जितना आप कर करके सीखते हो ना, उतना you'll grow.
I agree. So when did you start writing your own songs? You learned songwriting, composition, or?
No. I've never learned composition. I've never learned songwriting. Lately, I started reading so many thoughts, so many Urdu shairis, Hindi shairis and things, and those things are really helping me out as an artist to bring out my own thoughts. So lately, like I've written a couple of songs which are not out yet, but I'm enjoying the process of how my writing is getting evolved, how my composition style, how the way I compose is getting evolved. So it makes me feel good that yeah, I'm on a right track.
Thoughtful. And music coming? Any good music coming from your side next year? Album, EP, single?
Lots of music's coming next year. Like I'm working on an EP right now.
Wow. So how many tracks in that EP?
5 tracks as of now. But I'm trying to get it converted into an album. So hopefully I'll write few more songs and then hopefully it will be upgraded to an album. Apart from that, yeah, working on a couple of singles as well with few friends. Then as a solo artist as well. So yeah.
So 2023 brings a lot of good music from your side.
Hopefully.
Probably the last question of the entire session. 3 tips for artists and musicians from all levels.
First tip is that never stop learning. And second is always stay in a group of very, positive people. क्योंकि आर्टिस्ट की जर्नी ऐसी होती है ना, जिसमें मैंने बोला पहले भी कि बहुत सेल्फ डाउट्स रहते हैं, बहुत ऐसे भी दिन होते हैं when you just want to shout your heart out. कुछ नहीं हो रहा लाइफ में, you are reaching nowhere. Instead, irrespective of doing so much of work, irrespective of putting out so much good music, you are reaching nowhere. So always try to be with very good people. And third is that be kind with people. That's really important. Because क्या होता है when artist grows ना, तो उनको लगता है कि यार हम ही हैं सब. हमारा समय आ गया, हमारा दौर आ गया. So I think there we stop practicing gratefulness, kindness with people, right? Because unless people are not there to support us, we are nowhere, right?
Yeah.
So always be kind to people. You never know that, how much every person is suffering from.
Yeah.
So as an artist, हमारा जो काम है कि जो भी म्यूजिक हम बना रहे हैं, दिल से बना रहे हैं, वो सामने वाले के दिल तक पहुंचे. Right, and that's our main motto is, right, as an artist. Because music is a language of hearts, souls. तो आप अगर सच्चे नहीं होना तो आपका म्यूजिक कभी सच्चा नहीं होगा. So that's very important to be very honest with yourself, your craft, never misuse your craft for any sake, and then be honest with people, be kind to them. Yeah, that's, I think, very basic things one can follow, and ultimately they'll start feeling good about themselves.
And maybe make some good money.
That is altogether a different thing. If you'll be kind, and if you know how to deal with people, so I think you'll be able to find your right path. So yeah, that's the thing, man.
On a very thoughtful note, thank you so much for joining for this podcast session. It means a lot. I had
Thank
a
you so much for
wonderful
having me.
conversation, man. You're wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Having
Same here.
like
Pleasure is
I'll be
mine.
waiting for good music from your side. I'm waiting. Okay?
Absolutely.
For
So
2023.
do check out my next single, which is coming on 9th. It's called
Mhm.
O Jaana 2.0, and it's a sequel of one of my songs, which is called O Jaana. And don't forget to watch the video of part 1 as well, because then only you'll be able to connect the story which is going in the part 2.
That's what I would like to say to all the listeners, that I'll put the links of all the songs and works this guy has did in his entire lifetime or half of the lifetime. Please check them out. Support your artists. You never know who is gonna be the next big thing. Until then, once again, thank you so very much for joining. It means a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye. Good night.
Bye.